Ko Ani Pāhuru Huriwai ahau. I'm the tumuaki for Tairāwhiti Reap, you in my office. But I wear several hats, and one of them is trustee and contracts manager for Te Aroha Kanarahi Trust. Project Hoake came out of a community-led development research funded by DIA called Project Matarau. And that was focused on the dreams and aspirations and well-being of our communities and whānau. So Te Aroha Kanarahi Trust was the lead organisation, and there were 7 community groups that were involved in that project, from Pōtaka to Tokomaru Bay. We need to have our own destiny sorted. We need to know what we want to do, and we need to make it happen. So a lot of whānau shared their ideas about small business, what they wanted to do. They had great ideas, but they just didn't know what to do with it. Part of Project Matarau was to provide a blueprint and a bit of a strategic plan for communities to know, okay, this is the raw data, here's the information that's been gathered, the people have spoken, now you take that to the next level, however you want to do that. So for us, that meant, that turned into Project Hoake, and Hoake just means to move people together, moving together forward. And for us, that was our small businesses. Project Hoake has seen us develop several businesses, including Crystal's Coffee That, and his Yummy Dumplings. We had Kai For You, which was one of our girls who very much involved in the community. Unfortunately, she passed away suddenly last year, so we're still kind of feeling that. The Kure whānau who are doing whakairo, mahi whakairo, and we have another artist, Toa Orama, it's Nelson, and he's currently in British Columbia with his partner. We have Matakawa Culture Cuisine Connection, and that's aimed at high-end tourism. Light Shift Productions is a new company, which is a documentary film company. So they're coming up all the time. We have some of our whānau, Joanne's Grassroots Māori Arts and Crafts as well, so she's just going from strength to strength. It's amazing. And we have East Cape Camping Ground as well that we're supporting. So the energy and the buzz at home pre-COVID was amazing. It's just really good vibe, and everybody working together. So the Hoake part is a really important whanaungatanga that we have. It's not a Western dog-eat-dog model. Our success is a collective success, and it requires us all to move forward together and to look after each other along the way. We are funded by a number of philanthropic groups, including Trust Tairāwhiti. So that relationship is based on a treaty partnership and on a pōhiri model. Kate, in terms of the taha Pākehā side, she was helping to shape the model as well, which is based on a pōhiri process. So we are tangata whenua and they are manuhiri.
Kia ora tātou. My name's Kate Frickberg, and I'm part of a little trust called Te Mukurau, meaning the many strands. It's a little trust that my husband and I set up. I've known Ani for quite a few years. My previous role was as CEO of the Todd Foundation. So I first met Ani when we funded some youth stuff that they were doing up on the coast, probably way back, maybe even 10 years ago. She's someone I admire very much. So Project Hoake has been a really amazing thing to be involved with, and it's the fruit of a longer journey. I'm part of a group of funders which includes Tyndall Foundation and Todd Foundation and J.R. Mackenzie and Trust Tairāwhiti. We've now done sort of 3 different trips up to your region and also into Te Whānau, which I guess is over the hill from where you operate. It's a learning journey basically, so that funders like ours can do a better job of supporting Māori aspirations, and what that really requires is relationships. One of the things that we were very clear on was that it was a relationships before resources kind of approach. Project Hoake came out of the second trip that we did as funders, and that was with the wonderful Aldine. We spent 2 days at the Hinerupe Marae and just talking through, what are the challenges and what are the possibilities. So Project Hoake was born from that because what they identified was that whānau wanted to be self-supporting, self-sustaining, wanted to be in charge of their own destiny. And probably what that meant was lots of whānau-led businesses. But in order to make that happen, especially in such a remote area, you kind of need a bit of awhi. But you don't really want some person from Wellington or Auckland, or even Gisborne actually, coming and telling you how you should do things on the coast. What they wanted was one of their own to provide that role. And they knew who they wanted, which is Aloise Brooking. So Project Hoake was born from that. And the idea was that with a minimum of paperwork and jumping through hoops, this group of funders who had established that relationship could jointly fund that mahi tangata. So, and that's what we did. So, was 1 2-page application. All 5 funders put in money to support of whānau-led businesses. So it's in its 2nd year now, and it's stunning. It's just amazing. It was like we did just before COVID hit, 7 or 8 of their businesses presenting what they're doing, and it was the most inspiring presentation. There was such joy and strength and pride. Everybody's doing something a bit different. Everybody's doing it their way. People talked about community transformation and transforming their whānau and how they view their lives. And from someone just sitting listening, well, everybody in that room was just blown away. It was just so inspiring, and there was so much joy and strength. So I can see, and I wouldn't have thought that it could get that far in a year. That in 1 year you'd have, like, I don't know, how many businesses? 12, 14 businesses established, and actually all doing pretty damn well at that stage anyway. It was slightly before COVID, and it's a bit more of a challenge now, but yeah, just up and running and doing amazing stuff. But actually, it was a kind of, life should be reciprocal, and there was a reciprocal benefit for us as funders, because we were challenged to do things differently, to not just sit in our ivory towers and wait for an application to come. This was about sitting down and co-creating. And one of the things it made us do was to change our processes. So we found that all 5 funders had different funding agreements, for example. So we worked to create one funding agreement for all of us, and also to recreate that into something which is reciprocal. So it's had down, what the community can expect of us as funders, and what we as funders can expect of the community doing the project. Yeah, I think it had amazing outcomes for both the community and for us as funders. I think it's a real opportunity for us as funders, so Trust Tairāwhiti, Te Mukarau, big funders, small funders, to rethink how we do philanthropy here in Aotearoa, and what is the model of doing philanthropy that is appropriate here in this country, and particularly for supporting the aspirations of Māori communities, because I think as philanthropy we really haven't done a very good job of that at all. And partly that's because of the way the model works, which is a very sort of Western model. Like, there's someone who has the power, and there's someone who, requests the money, and it's granted, and that's all tied up with strings attached. But that's not the way it should be. It should really be about relationships and sharing. And I think we've got an opportunity, and I suspect, you as Trust Tairāwhiti has got an even more amazing opportunity to think about how that could be different.